All right, we're here with the one and only CEO, Jason Cozens from Glint. How you doing, Jason?
Well, I'm great now, Brad. Every time I come to speak to you, I just feel so much better. Who could not feel good after a welcome like that?
Well, it's always great to connect with you, man, no doubt about it. And if people didn't see, you had a great panel you participated in on XRP Las Vegas 2023, and we hope to see you at XRP Las Vegas 2024. Fingers crossed on that. But listen, we're here today to talk about Glint because look, you have made a lot of waves in this space, and people are very excited about what you're doing with gold and MasterCard debit card, and there's no tokenization. You have made gold money. Tell us about it, Jason.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, we're the first company in the world, Brad, to enable gold in everyday payments. We're doing that to protect people from inflation, from the risks of bank crisis, the systemic risk generally within the system, the threats of central banking digital currencies. I think they're probably pose the biggest threat to civil liberties we've ever had. We've got lots more problems as well in the world, as you know, geopolitical risks, the reserve currency status of the US dollar itself is coming into question now. And people need some security, people need some reliability. So Glint enables you to buy gold, real gold, physical allocated gold that you own, that's in a vault outside of the banking system. It's insured by Lloyd's of London. It allows you to buy that gold, any amount, you can buy 1 cent's worth of gold, I think, and up to millions of dollars worth of gold on the platform, because we want to be able to democratize access to this. We don't just want it to be something for the wealthy, although, it's got a very strong, what we call product market fit for those who've worked hard all their lives and saved up their money and don't want to lose it. And you can send that gold. So, I can send gold from one person to another. We can't do that quite yet in the US, or put it this way, we're not enabling that in the US until we get a little bit more legal clarity on that. But in the rest of the world, you can send gold as easy as sending a text outside of the banking system. And of course, you can spend it. And here's my Glint card, beautiful Glint card. This allows you to spend gold anywhere in the world where MasterCard, this little symbol, is accepted. Can you imagine that? Being able to put yourself on your own personal gold standard and be able to pay for a coffee in Starbucks, your next holiday, whatever you want to do. You just use it as a currency. Have I missed anything out? Buy, sell, save. You can just save it if you want. Send it, spend it. And really what Glint is doing, our vision actually is much bigger than that. Our vision as a world, of course, where everyone has an equal opportunity to prosper. The whole monetary system conspires against that. And we're building effectively a global gold-based financial services ecosystem. Imagine a whole world using gold as one of the other currencies. But, really, it's the only real form of money as we know. Everything else is debt.
Well, listen, it is exciting. And I get tons of people who tell me that they've signed up, they've registered, they downloaded the app, and now they have Glint. They have physically allocated gold on their app, and it literally is that simple. And I've used it too. I've used it for over a year, probably going on 2 years now. And it's quite remarkable to be able to go out and know that you're using your MasterCard debit card, and I'm spending gold on my dinner, which I've done multiple times just to see it work and make sure I've gone through the process. And it is so refreshing. But, there's another aspect to this thing that always fascinates me. People love physical gold. People love, the ability to spend money like gold, which you have done for the first time really ever in the manner that you've accomplished it. But I often tell people in doomsday scenarios, people say, oh, well, I want the physical gold. You know what? Okay, fine. Have it if you want it. But you're going to go to a gold exchange, and they're not going to give you spot price. They're going to because you're going to be in a long line of people standing there with stuff they're looking to trade in, and you're going to get the worst spot price in the world. But that isn't what happens if you're in Glint. If you're in Glint, and I go to make a transaction, it is in real time at the price of gold right then and there. And you aren't dealing with somebody trying to sell you on some crazy undercut spot price. Isn't that right?
Well, you picked up a couple of things. First of all, I want to say as well, when you're eating that dinner you've paid with gold, it definitely tastes better.
Yes.
And the second thing is you're absolutely right. And actually, a lot of our customers, if you're one of our Glint customers, you got to wake up to this. If you didn't realize, when you use this, when you sell gold, as you said, if you're selling gold coins or bars or other denominations of gold, the spread's normally really huge. It can be like 5 or 6% or more sometimes. You know, with Glint, when you sell gold, it's 0.5%. We'll go through the prices in a second. But when you use your card, we don't charge you anything. You don't even get a 0.5% fee for selling the gold. Let's just think about that. You're just selling your gold. You're getting the real wholesale market rate. We're not charging a fee. Why do we do that? Well, because the merchant is giving MasterCard some fees to use the services of MasterCard. And so we get a bit of that. So we actually end up with 1% of the transaction. So we get 1% of the cost of your dinner. Thank you very much when you use the card. So we're not going to charge you on top of that, you know, because we don't want any friction. We want people to be able to use it as money. So it's better, it's cheaper for you to spend your gold than it is to sell it with Glint, even though selling gold on Glint is very cheap. But maybe that's a good time to talk about the fees, shall we?
Well, we should talk about that. And you actually have the ability to pull up the app and let some people see what the app looks like for them too. So let's pull that up, and then you talk about the fees while people have a chance to look at that as well. I think that would be nice.
Okay.
I want to say, while you're pulling this up, this is one of the easiest apps to use in the world. And I'm not a tech savvy guy, so that's quite a statement.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of all of our team, you know, they're all tech savvy people. We've been I mean, I've been involved in the emerging digital ecosystem since before it began. You know, my early career was after I qualified as an architect, was working in virtual reality. Then it was working in the early days of the internet boom, building e-commerce systems and stuff like that. So I've kind of done nothing else except architect digital products. And so the first thing we learn is we've got to make it easy for people. So here is, you know, we've got the Glint icon on my app. You can all you have to do is download the app onto your phone. I'm using an iPhone here. Of course, it's available on Android. And you could, and there's the link from to my app. You'll also see as well that I've got this widget there as well, which is quite fun. Something that Apple have launched recently. So I'm constantly be able to see the price of gold in my home currency, which is pounds. Of course, it can be in dollars for you. You can see what's going on there with a mini graph, and I can dive straight into it by clicking that too. So I encourage anybody who's got a Glint account to set up the widget too. But I'm going to click on the app here, and it's going to bring up the app. Of course, I'm viewing this from the UK. I'm also seeing my balance in pounds. There's a few things that are different between viewing the app in the UK to viewing it in the US, but you guys are bright enough to understand when you open your app, it's going to be slightly different. It's localized for your sector. First of all, the first thing you see are your balances. So we have my gold wallet, we have a pounds wallet, euro wallet, and US dollar wallet. In the US, you're going to see a gold wallet and a US dollar wallet. And I can see there how many grams I've got in. This is my corporate account. I can see what those are worth in my local currency. And I can see how much I've got in my other currency wallets too. Now, this is kind of Apple's latest kind of form factor. So I'm able to, these are kind of called cards. So I can swipe them up with my finger up and down. There's one at the bottom here as well. If I pull that up, it's like, this is contents. This is various editorial stories and stuff, information about the economy, about gold, about finances, etc. But the cards is where all the wallet information is. And right at the back here as well, I have some information on my cards. Yeah, we weren't supposed to see the gold card there. I cannot possibly deny the existence of it or confirm its presence. But this is the plastic one here that I've been talking about here, the card. I can freeze that card if I go, you know, sometimes I think, have I lost my card? But I don't want to cancel it because it's going to take some days to get a new card. So I just normally freeze it to start off with. Let's just do that for a second.
Which you can do right in the app.
There we go. It's frozen. Actually, it had a nice sound effect on, but I think I had my phone on silent. I can defrost it at any time. But whilst it's frozen, if I freeze it again, no card transactions can happen. So, you know, I'm like, look, I don't know where it is. It might be somewhere. It's probably in my coat pocket down the side of the car. I've frozen my card. I don't have to worry about it then. Anyway, I'm not going to cancel my card. I'm just going to unfreeze it.
What a great feature that is.
This is a map where the green dot in the center there is where your gold, my gold's stored. It's in Switzerland in a vault run by Brinks, which is one of the biggest custodians of precious metals in the world. And we chose Switzerland because it's probably the nation in the world which has got the friendliest and biggest love affair with gold in terms of its, and also its rights around property and things like that. That's the first vault that we've got. The gold is insured as well by Lloyd's of London. The vault's very secure, though. I mean, no one's going to take any gold out of that vault. I mean, it's underneath the airport at Zurich. But on top of that, it's also insured with Lloyd's of London.
Nice.
And if I forget my PIN as well, there's a PIN number there. I'm not going to show everybody that, but if I press the PIN number, it will tell me that it'll tell me. So let's go back to the balances here. So I can go into one of these wallets. Sorry, Michelle, I'll talk to you later. I better put this on silent. Hold on. So let's just talk about the balances. Let's go into my gold account here. You can see, by the way, I've got my gold, my cards are linked to my gold account. Yeah, because that was one thing I didn't say. The wallet icon here, if I click the wallet icon, I can link my card to any of the wallets that I've got. Mine is always linked to my gold most times. But imagine I'm coming into this for the first time. I can either click the buy gold button and go straight into buying gold, or I can click onto this button here, and I can see I've got a chart there that's showing the price of gold. Of course, I can change as well what currency I want to view that in. And what time period I want to show it in as well. Of course, we can see that big spike, which everyone's talking about, where it saw gold soaring to an all-time high the other day, got beaten back, I think, by some automated trading systems and stuff. But obviously, maybe a conversation for another time about gold and the all-time highs we think it's going to continue to hit. But here we have the chart. We have the price of gold. We have how much gold I have and how much that's worth in my home currency. We have the transaction list here, so you can see that I was, getting a takeaway there or a restaurant here. You can use, as I said, anywhere in the world where MasterCard's accepted. This was dinner, I think, for 4 in a nice restaurant. It shows you how much gold you spent, what that cost, what the rate was that we charge, all the information you'd expect to have in there is all in there. I just want to point out this new feature. It's this repeat gold buy feature. It was introduced only just a few months ago. It's been really, really successful. A lot of people. It's one of the most. I think it was one of the most requested features. Was, can we have a gold accumulation plan so I can set it up and forget about it? If I click in there, this is set up to be able to buy £250 worth of gold every month. Of course, that can be any amount. It can be done. It can be set up with a debit card. You can set it up how much, use your payment method. It can be used with some of the wallets that you might just choose the wallets you've already got fiat currency in, or you can use your cards, or you can have it, with a bank transfer here. So actually, sorry, I've lost the plot here. The repeat gold buy is, I've got it already set up, so I could cancel that plan if I wanted, but I don't want to. But in there, that's the repeat gold buy. If I want to buy gold very, very quickly, I can just use my debit card or credit card or money that I've got in my account. Or of course, I can do a bank transfer, and I can transfer one of the currencies, and it'll tell me the information where I need to send it to. I can click on these buttons and copy that information on the right-hand side there as well. But let's go and buy some gold, shall we? Here's the Express. I'm going to choose. I've got some money in that pounds account, so I'm going to use that, and let's buy some gold here. So let's buy 200 pounds worth of gold. It's nearly $4, so I'm just going to go down the bottom there and actually change that to $4. I want 4 grams of gold. That's going to cost me £208. We're giving you the wholesale market rate. So this is the rate which the banks and are all working with each other. It's about kind of 0.1% either side of spot. So it's very, very tight. And we're very transparent. We charge a 0.5% fee. Because I'm staff here at Glint, I get a 0 fee, but you'll just check. It'll clearly say you're getting charged 0.5%. So I can review that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Keeping the price just for a couple of seconds. I press confirm. Done. I get the opportunity to invite a friend, which I encourage you all to do. It is important. This is not just a product, is it, Brad? This is a movement.
It is a movement. There's no question about it. And to speak to that very quickly, here in the United States, even recently, we heard in the Texas legislature on the House floor, Glint was recommended as a solution for legal tender in Texas for the citizens of the state. Talk about that for a second.
Wow. I mean, that what a great segue. I mean, there's some amazing stuff going on at the US state level. The latest is, and maybe there's a whole other kind of, we can spend an hour talking about this, but very quickly, the latest is, I think up to 18 different states have either passed laws to enable gold as legal tender, are in the process of updating that legislation to make it work really well in digital payments, or to introduce new legislation to make gold legal tender, or certainly going through the consideration process. I heard actually on Monday, the Florida bill was actually submitted. So their process is beginning. And I think I hear on the grapevine that Texas, Florida and Utah are all kind of racing, trying to be out there first as leaders in this fantastic movement, being real innovators. That's going to be a game changer should that happen. I mean, Glint, I think, is a fantastic product for everybody right now. It's available, but can you imagine when a state enables gold to be legal tender? It means there's going to be no capital gains tax. You'll be able to use it as a currency alongside the US dollar, give you some real choice and some real freedom. But Glint's available now. So we get excited about that if and when it happens. And of course, we're the only viable transactional gold platform live in the US with all these features. So I think we're very excited about the opportunity of potentially running those platforms. So yeah, the Texas, we were mentioned on the Texas Senate because they said, look, we passed these gold legal tender laws. We're going to need a transactional system like GlintPay. So thank you for that shout out. I'll so here, I've talked about selling your gold as well. We can sell any amount of your gold. Of course you can. You can send, if you're outside of the USA, I can send it to somebody. Andrew here, who I work with. I'm a bit tight today. So I can send a message. What should we say to him? Don't spend it all at once. And I can send that to him, confirm, off it goes. What else in this section? I think that's just about everything in that buy, sell, send gold section with the charts as well. We did mention capital gains tax. So if I go back out here and go into the profile section, in here, you can get things like statements. So I can, do a statement, and we can look at last year to December, and we can produce a statement like you would get from a bank of all the transactions that I've had on my Glint account, and it will present it inside the app or allow me to send it to somebody else. So I can open this in Acrobat and see my statement, and at the same time I can send that on to people. And also a new bit of functionality. It says capital gains reports down there. So obviously with the statement, you could work out your own capital gains tax liability. And yes, in the United States, like in some countries, if you incur a capital gain with your gold, then you're liable to pay tax, which you are more often than not. I always say to people, you only pay this if your gold's going up in price. So it's not exactly the worst thing in the world. Yeah. But you can work that out yourself by downloading the spreadsheet or looking at your statement and working out yourself. But some people don't want to be bothered doing that. And so the capital gains tax report is something that's brand new. It's in my app because we're going through final testing. It's going to be launching next week to our clients in the outside of the USA. And for customers in the USA, you'll be able to order it after Christmas in January. And that is a project we've been working with KPMG for the last year. They're one of the biggest tax players, consultants in the world. And what happens is we send your data to them anonymized, so they don't know who it is. They then produce a report using all their intelligent systems and everything, using all the information within your transactional history. They produce a really valid report that gets sent back to you, and then it will be sending that on to you. It's going to cost about £25 or $35. But wow, what a saving that's going to give. So you don't have to go to your tax advisor and get that calculated, and you don't have to go through the hassle of calculating yourself. So yeah, in this section, there's other things about your personal details. There's a help and support section. And then there's that kind of refer a friend thing, which obviously we want you to do. At the moment, there's this promotion where you and your friend will get a fee discount on your vaulting. So the vaulting, by the way, yeah, there's a fee. We only charge 0.02% a year, which is, I think, 0.24%. Sorry, 0.02% a month, which is 0.24% a year, which is very, very small to have your gold, highly securely looked after, stored, and insured, as I said, by Lloyd's of London, one of the biggest insurance solutions in the world.
And, if I could, because I want to remind people, this entire solution, from buying the gold, physically allocated gold, having it stored for you, having it insured, having it so you can spend your gold like dollars in real time at spot price, not getting beat up the way others would. This entire solution makes you an alternative to banking. You are your own bank at this point. You're outside of the banking system, and you have more solid, trusted money backed by gold right there in real time. I just think it's a remarkable thing, and I wanted to just overview that, Cap, for everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's we spent a long time building this technology. I mean, unlike most fintech companies who go out there and use someone else's system, we had to build our own.
And to your credit, so Jason, you've spoken about a crypto bridge. Give us the state of where you are now with that, and understanding where the ambiguity is with regulation and such.
Yeah, I mean, crypto, a lot of crypto projects and Glint have a lot in common, don't we? We're both trying to give everybody an equal opportunity to prosper. We both sectors believe that the existing monetary system is doing nothing to help people. It's creating all the it's the thing that's really driving the wealth gap. So obviously we're very aligned. Why is it? I mean, why is it that somebody working within the crypto ecosystem would have to move their gains, for instance, into fiat currency? I mean, it's kind of insane, really. And so what we want to do is have a bridge into the crypto ecosystem so that funds can flow from crypto into gold with Glint, real allocated gold. This is not unallocated gold that can be lent out by the people looking after it. It's not paper gold. It's not ETF gold where you own a share in a fund that may or may not be by gold. There's nothing that sits in the way between you and your claim of your gold. You own these gold grams directly yourself. And so it'd be wonderful to be able to have people move from crypto into gold with Glint and then go and go back again. The only problem we've got is the same problem that everybody in the crypto space has, is that the ambiguity that the SEC obviously by design engineer into all their legislation, because we've all seen how difficult it has been for different organizations and stuff within the crypto universe, some of the lengths they've had to go to in order to get clarity on where they are with the SEC. We've seen some pretty, I'd say, unfair activity in that space. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
And fines and really, really unjust kind of practices, I think. And I think a lot of the tax authorities around the world kind of employ the same kind of tactics of ambiguity, and then allows them to be able to choose how they interpret their own rules, etc. Well, of course, there's just too much ambiguity when it comes to crypto right now. And the last thing we want is for our clients, gold, to be put at risk by that kind of what I call regulatory overreach because of ambiguous rules. So cut long story short, what I'm saying is we want to launch this crypto bridge as soon as the clarity around these regulations is found. And at the moment, it's just not there. We've got huge fines being dealt out, and we don't want to be subject to that kind of risk. We don't want our clients to be subject to that kind of risk.
Understood.
I hope everyone, you understand that.
I do. You're erring on the side of caution.
It.
It's something that's coming, but you want to make sure that you're not out front running regulation and legislation. Totally understand that. So Jason, you know, really great job breaking down what the user experience is of Glint and how it looks, the operation of it. Talk to us now about the backside, about Glint itself, right? The company, right? What's the state of the company, your growth? What have you come from? Bring us to today. And what are we looking for going into the future? Everything we need to know about Glint in this video is what we're doing, right?
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, you know, I founded Glint a few years ago. I had the idea in 2008 in the last financial crisis. First of all, I managed to attract a wonderful group of non-executive directors. I think any good company practicing good corporate governance needs to get some real heavyweight people onto their board to be able to make sure that shareholder and client interests are being taken care of. And so the first person is Haruko Fukuda. She was the CEO of the World Gold Council. She's probably, she was on the board of Volvo. I mean, so many different companies. She's a powerhouse. And is so fortunate to attract her to what we were doing. She believes that Glint is important for society. We also have Oliver Bolitho, who was head of asset management for Goldman Sachs for many years. He's not there anymore, but he's on the board, knows a lot about gold. We have Craig Dewar, who is, I call him London's unsung hero of fintech, because, you know, with his platform that he developed, his fintech platform is what all these billion-dollar valuation fintech payments companies have built themselves on. He's an investor in Glint, as are all of our board members, actually, and he's also he's now a board member in the company. And then last but not least, Laurent Chabanier, who is the representative for Sibanye-Stillwater. So Sibanye are a New York Stock Exchange listed gold producer, one of the biggest in the world. They produce not just gold, but other precious metals and battery metals. They're a phenomenally innovative company. So we've got this fantastic board of directors, which brings a huge amount of governance and best practice to the business. We're also regulated. Now, interestingly, gold itself isn't regulated. At the end of the day, it's just a thing. Like, you don't regulate a furniture maker or somebody who sells concrete blocks. It's not a, you know, with no derivatives involved here at Glint. You know, we're not doing any fancy stuff with the payments behind the scenes. So as a result, you can't actually get gold. Just if you're just selling gold and you're not selling fund, you're not dealing with funds like with ETFs, you can't actually get regulated with gold in this way. And so, but actually, as a payments business, you know, as you said, an alternative to bank, with money flows in, with us looking after client money, which, by the way, when your client money lands in Glint, it's held in segregated and safeguarded client accounts in the UK, or it's held in FDIC insured US accounts in the US with a MasterCard issuing bank. All of that side of things is very heavily regulated. And so we've got, you know, we're subject to potential audits and stuff on a regular basis from various parties, you know, MasterCard, our partner, the regulators, you know, the banks, etc. And so that should give people a level of comfort. You know, as a business, we have to do things like taking consumer duty really seriously. It means we actually have to have a consumer duty champion on the board, all these types of things. And these are board members, by the way, whose reputations, you know, they take their own reputation very seriously. Why would they risk that with a company emerging, kind of a small but growing company like Glint? So we've got teams in the UK, we've got teams in the US. Those people are looking after our customers. They're building our technology, maintaining our technology, making sure it's secure. Apart from the fact this is, you know, we've got all best practice banking security systems. We've got, it's in a vault, obviously, it's secure. We've chosen to be outside the banking system. I've not yet heard of a way that people can dematerialize gold and hack it down the wire. So we do have that as a benefit. And those teams are fantastic. And if you've ever dealt with our client services team, there's a reason why we have most of our Trustpilot scores are like 5-star. We have a few 1-stars when things go wrong, but it's mainly 5-star. So hats off and big shout out to my team and making sure they look after you all. What else can I say? I mean, we're funded by equity investment because we're a fast-growing fintech. We want to build a company that's global. We want to be the global gold-based financial services infrastructure. People making payments and doing deals across the world, contracts in gold. We want people to use our APIs to like build on top and create all kinds of interesting projects and stuff around the planet. So obviously we're going to take equity investment in. That's an opportunity for those people who like to invest. And I think actually there still might be some shares available at Link too. I know you've talked about that on your channel before.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to actually transparency, we're actually, I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be actually starting to publish the chart of the gold that we've got on the platform. So you can see how much gold on the platform coming directly from our ledger. And then also, publishing the reports by the independent metals auditor that goes into the vault on a monthly basis and measures and weighs all the gold and checks that it matches what we have on the books. So I think that'll be a great step forward when it comes to the transparency of the gold too. So yeah, a big shout out to my team. Big shout out to our investors. We've got some fantastic investors in the company. Sprott Inc. I think anyone who's interested in gold will know the name Sprott. They're a big supporter of Glint. The Tokyo Commodities Exchange, part of the Japanese stock exchange, they invested in Glint. Not a huge amount, but they invested in Glint. They got special dispensation at the board level to do it. They've never invested in a private company before or since, but they did it because they see that Glint's going to grow the size of the gold market.
Wow.
And they thought that important. So yeah, very, very big shout out to our investors too.
Well, it also seems like, I mean, look, and I may be a step ahead here, but if they've invested in you, it wouldn't be too big of a step to think that they've created this ability for their customers to have the functionality to spend directly off of their own platform, their own exchange, right? I mean, it's like a logical next step. It doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but that would be a logical next step to see that happen. I love it. Now, what are the next steps as we wrap up here, Jason? What are the next steps for Glint? Like, what can we expect and look forward to? What's coming down the line here?
Well, I think next year is going to be really interesting. We want to obviously make sure that we double down on delivering the best experience for our retail clients. So we'll be integrating with various systems and stuff so that you can easily get money pulled from your bank accounts. Getting money into the accounts quickly is going to be important. Anywhere we think we can fine tune the experience to make it better for you. Ultimately, you'll be able to make auto pay payments so you can pay your bills and stuff. At that point, we really do become a viable gold-based viable alternative to a bank. That would be wonderful. The crypto bridge, of course, will be there. Should we get the clarity we're looking for and get comfort with that? One of the other things we want to do, of course, is bring in business accounts. A lot of our clients, whether or not you're a gig economy worker and you just want to be able to accept payments into gold and to be able to make payments from it. Making third-party payments actually is part of that. So you can at the moment, you can only withdraw money into an account in your name. But actually, we're going to open up at some point the ability to send funds to any bank account in the world. But business accounts, big and small, and enabling those, it's one of the biggest requests that we've got. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, there's just so much to do. When you're trying to build a global financial services ecosystem, everything that exists in the normal ecosystem can be built on top of a gold one. Yeah, we've got a wealth management portal that we're looking to bring out. That's quite exciting. Silver. It's the
next logical question.
It's one of the top requested things on our list. And philosophically, I think my position on this. I've always felt that it's not needed. I know historically it's been of interest. It's done a very good job of dealing with the problem with gold. when you're dealing with physical coins about small de minimis payments. Of course, silver can step in and fill that mark. But Glint solved that because you can buy anything or spend or transfer, even it's 0.00 something of a gram. So we felt we dealt with that. But we're definitely having another look at silver.
There's such a demand for it, right? It's the customer base demand. That's what you're feeling, right?
Yeah. So we're having another look at that. Of course, the US Constitution says that any state may make or receive payments in US dollars, gold, or silver. So it might be the thing that pushes us to bring that to market next year. So let's just watch that space. As I said, I couldn't deny or confirm the existence of our solid gold card, but maybe there's some movement on that. So yeah, lots of things that are coming. So it's an exciting time. We regularly do polls out to our customer base and ask them what's favorite for them. So if you do become a Glint customer, do participate, do spread the word, because this is a movement. We're trying to change the world here, and we need your help. I mean, the XRP army. Oh my God, watching you guys. It's just been an absolute pleasure working with the community as well. A lot of you are customers of Glint. But look what you've achieved. Let's see if we can bring a golden halo to that.
Oh, I absolutely love it. And with XRP getting legal clarity, I think we might be one step closer to it. Jason Cozens from Glint, thank you for sitting down with us today.
Thank you.